At the same time,
We were
pretty. You and I were pretty tame.
Yeah.
Eric was crazy.
Listen.
And
the funny thing is, you and I were tame except for the specific areas where we were.
Yeah.
Well, like we were wild, but we were only wild out in like this very narrow band.
Right.
We was like, all right, we're not doing drugs. We not out here partying and like running away from the house in the middle of the night.
Yeah.
But we gonna do this stuff right
getting
here.
arrested
Yeah,
or
we're
getting
not
in
doing none of
fights at
that.
school or
Nah.
anything. But at the same time, and Eric wasn't either, right?
Nah,
Eric was mostly just acting up at school. That was the main thing.
There was some of that, and there were some other wild boy activities.
Yeah, but Eric wasn't. Eric never got arrested.
Yeah,
Eric, you know what I'm saying? Like it was nothing crazy.
Yeah.
But like I think what Dad kind of tried his best to instill in us was a couple of things, right? And even the same thing with our sister too. But like one is that confidence in yourself to try to be the greatest you can be.
Yeah.
In this world that we live in, it's a difficult world out here.
And understanding why excellence is important.
Yeah. And understanding that, where we come from and what's expected of us is, like you said, excellence, right? Yeah. And I think a lot of the, when I was younger, I didn't understand it sometimes. And I would get frustrated because I'd be like, man, I just feel like they push me so hard. And I'd just be like, why,
right. Why
other people don't have to do all this.
Right. Why do I have to do it? That I do this?
Yeah. And so now as an adult, like I look back at some of those moments. I look back at some of those days and I like with fondness because I think, man, if Dad wasn't just like, no, I'm not accepting that.
Yeah.
Try again. Yeah, I know you can do it. Like it's I think, one of the moments.
That second part, bro.
One of those moments is when we played for the Steelers. We played football. And do you remember that year? We played for the Steelers.
I mean, I remember playing for the Steelers.
Okay.
We weren't on the same team.
No, we weren't. You were playing for midget, and I was playing junior midget.
Yeah.
And I remember. Now I didn't like football.
Yeah.
I liked playing football with my friends, right? But being on a team requires a different type of discipline.
Yeah.
It requires a different type of working out.
Yeah.
It required a different level of commitment.
I do remember this because you hated.
I hated it.
You hated having to run the laps and do all of
And that's the thing. It wasn't that I hated organized sports because I liked baseball. I played basketball, Little League. I liked that.
Yeah.
I loved band, right?
So what was it about football you didn't like?
I think, honestly, if I could be honest, when I joined the team, when Dad signed us up, I think we got signed up like a week after it started, right?
So we were at the bottom of the list.
Yeah. And so when I started, I felt as though I was so out of shape. And I felt like all the guys playing were like a year and a half ahead of me.
Yeah.
And so when I got there, I remember the first day I got there, all the players were already exercising that
and they
day.
knew what to do.
They knew all the chants. They knew all the workouts in order. Like, I was like, man, like,
bro,
how long have they been doing this?
Do you know that's why I never liked football?
Yeah.
Because literally.
Me too.
Yeah, because like literally, I felt like that was my experience on every football team I got on. So you remember when we played Pop Warner the first time?
Yeah, I was playing flag that year.
Yes.
You were playing for the Spartans.
I was playing for the Spartans.
Yeah.
Okay.
We both were.
That's
but you weren't playing flag.
No, I was playing full tackle.
Yeah.
Okay. I was a lineman.
What was that? Junior Pee-wee?
I don't know, bro. Yeah, listen, don't ask me to lie to you.
No, because I'm saying it was flag, then junior Pee-wee, junior midget. And I played junior midget for the Steelers.
Yeah.
I played flag. And then there was that time Mom signed us up, and then we moved.
We didn't end up actually
that
playing
one.
That
I
season.
played Pee-wee, I think, that year.
I feel like you were supposed to play with Pee-wee, yeah. Because I think I was supposed to move up to the next
you
tier.
were playing Pee-wee that year. I remember it.
Because when I played Pee-wee
flag,
the year before.
Okay, so you played junior Pee-wee when I played flag. Okay.
Yeah, because we were only ever one tier apart. But like,
oh, okay, all right.
There was just a feeling because they'd always, because I was slow, they'd always make me a lineman. So they like, oh well, you're gonna be a lineman, and I'm like, bro,
no, it's because he was big.
Okay, no,
it wasn't just because you were slow.
Here's the problem:
if you were that slow and super skinny, they wouldn't have made you a lineman.
Okay, but here's the problem: I won't that big.
Wasn't.
Yes, I wasn't that big when I was playing junior Pee-wee. I was a little kid. They put me.
We were still not small, Elliot.
I
there were much smaller kids.
Okay,
I'm not saying. I think you're misinterpreting fat with big.
No.
I'm not saying you were that big.
Okay,
I'm saying that
I was
we weren't
small in comparison to all the other linemen on my team and all the other linemen on the other teams. I was just too slow to play any of the other positions.
No, I never. Okay.
So what would happen is I'm too slow, so they put me on lineman. But it's not like I really wanted to be lineman. So then I was like not good at it.
Mhm.
So then now I'm riding the bench as a lineman, which is like the worst feeling. Then they put you in for like 2 plays because they got to put everybody in, and then they bring you back out and put out the kids who actually
want
play
to
football.
be linemen.
No, not even necessarily wanted to be linemen. Just like the kids who had like dads who were like coaches
Really
or
aggressive,
like really into football in a way that like our parents just weren't because they didn't have time or whatever. Like we were never like football people like that.
The thing was, right? And I was talking to one of my coworkers about this on Friday.
Mhm.
So her son wants to play whatever. Not her son wants to play. Her child's father wants him to play football.
Yeah.
Okay. Now the boy is 1, so I don't even understand how this is a conversation.
I
But
mean,
apparently he's a coach. Okay?
you got to start prepping.
Yeah,
As soon as
he's
this man can
1.
walk.
Like, and
Hey,
they're
listen.
in full on arguments. But anyway,
You can
So-
dodge a wrench. You can dodge a ball
okay.
or something like that.
Probably not,
O'Houlihan.
but okay. So the kid is 1, and
Uh-huh.
he's a coach of like little league teams.
Yeah.
And he's saying that his league has a 3 to 5-year-old league.
Yeah.
And so she asked me, "You ever heard of a 3-year-old playing on a football team?" And I
Yeah.
was like, I feel like I was 4 when I played flag,
You were.
but
It's 3 to 5.
I don't know if it was 3, Elliot. I think it
were-
was 4, 5, and 6 on flag.
I
but
mean-
then again, it was a long time ago. Like, it doesn't matter.
I
The
mean,
point that I'm making is,
Yeah.
the point that I'm making is, she's saying, I don't want him to be so excited because he has a son that he's going to shove him on a football team when he might not want. What if he wants to do fashion? And what if he
Oh,
wants to do
she-
this and do that?
All
I'm
right.
like, look.
Hold on.
And
You set it straight?
yes.
Okay.
I
good.
did. So I explained to her, first of all, and I don't know if Dad knows this. One of the most impactful moments of my life so far was the day after my first practice on the Steelers.
Where he didn't let you quit.
Yeah. I remember I ran this lap. They told all of us to run one lap. That was it. Now, this is my first practice. I was completely out of shape. This is before band. This is before drum major. This is before baseball when I was in shape. Like, it's before all that. No, I was moving so slow. And I was not a slow runner. But, like, this was my first day. I had the pads on, the helmet on.
I remember.
And I
this.
remember I remember because after that practice, all laps, they made me run it in the front of the line for the rest of the season. And I remember at the end of the season, I would run super fast. They would be trying to keep up with me.
Yeah.
They put me in the front of the pack.
That's good coaching right there.
Yeah, it was. Yeah, actually, it was. We won. We were 9-1 that season. We went to North Carolina for the championship and destroyed that
I
team.
remember that.
But anyway, we were staying without Andrea because it was in Charlotte. Yeah.
Yeah.
So,
I remember that.
but that day, I cried. I went home. I was what, 9,
Yeah.
10, whatever. And I told Dad, I said, Dad, I don't want to do this. And he said, oh, you're going to do it. And he said, but come here and talk to me first. And so we went in there, and I think in the back of his mind, he's like, oh, I paid for it. Oh, you're going to play. But let me
Oh, you're not
explain
about
to
to waste
you.
my money.
But let me explain to you why you're going to play. And Dad had a deep conversation with me about how we don't quit. Now, you can not like it. You can say, I don't want to play next year. You can, all these different things. But Dad said, but one thing we do is we start it and we finish it.
You know what's funny? I think he had that exact same conversation with me in a different context. I'm trying to remember what it was. It might have been football.
It probably was because both of us hated it. Like, I enjoyed baseball,
Nah.
but I enjoyed basketball. We played
Maybe
Little League.
no.
But I
Okay,
hated
hold
football,
on.
bro.
I think it actually might have been the baseball conversation.
Oh, no, I
think,
loved it.
No, because I hated baseball for the same reason. Because I was slow, and
See, but I never had that problem.
okay.
I was a big boy, but I wasn't slow.
Here's the problem. Okay, when I say I'm slow, I don't mean I'm slow like
I
overall.
think you just didn't want to do it, so you weren't pushing yourself
Nah,
to
bro.
run super fast.
Nah,
you weren't
bro.
doing all that.
No. I just was on teams with phenomenal athletes. So what kept happening is I would
Yeah.
be on these nationally ranked type players like teams. So
Yeah.
like and
they out there going all
they
out.
out there going crazy, and
Yeah.
I'm like, bro, I can't run that fast. So then I just run something approximating as fast as I can run, and then I'm like, well, it's still slow, so I'm gonna slow down a little bit more. And the version of the conversation that I recall was something along the lines of, oh well, listen, are you actually trying?
Mhm.
Like when you look at the kids that are out there starting, are you trying as hard as they're trying? And
I
was
definitely
like,
was not.
I wasn't either. And that
Nah.
was the thrust of the conversation. He was like, well, yeah, so you're going to be where you're going to be at. If you really want to be out there, you can do it, son, but you have to want it like that. And if you don't want it, that's fine too.
But you ain't gonna quit.
But
Yeah.
You're not just gonna give up just because you're not the best if you're not actually putting out effort to be the best. You need
It's
to
funny.
actually try.
We started this conversation talking about us wanting to be the best at stuff. It's always something. It's so all right. So I'll give you my example.
We've circled all the way back around to where it came from.
So when I played baseball, okay, the trophy's at Dad's house. It's still in the mantle.
All my incorrectly named trophies are there.
Now my
so I need to
baseball,
pick 'em up.
so all the players when I played baseball, we actually got a baseball with your award on it.
Yeah,
if you got an award.
I know exactly which one you're talking about. I look at it all the time because your name's spelled right.
Yeah, you used to make fun of me because of the award I got, but I got the most improved player award. And you used to make fun of me like, no. I was like, no, this means that I was the best at the end. He's like, no, this means that you sucked at the beginning.
Right, that means you're the worst at the start.
But the thing is, right? So I started that season out, and I never played baseball, and I played on a team with all kids. This was like their third season.
So they was like
season.
legacy baseball kids.
Yeah, like
they've
kids
been playing,
that never
they
played
knew
football before.
Yeah.
They never played basketball before. They never played anything else.
were
Never played soccer
specialized.
as little kids. And I used to ask them, I played football already. What'd you guys do? And they all said, oh, no, I've never done anything but baseball.
Yeah, I just play baseball.
And I said, well, I really actually enjoy this sport, so I'm going to try it. And I really tried. And, you know, it was funny. I was on one of those little just middle of the road C+ teams.
Yeah.
We weren't killing it, you know, but we were doing good.
But
We won
y'all
some
were
games.
trying. Y'all were having fun.
No, it was the Cubs. You remember
Yes.
TJ's team?
Yes, I do
With
remember.
that kid Bryce that was throwing those stupid fastballs.
That man thought he was going to the majors, didn't he?
Yeah, he was in the little league little championship thing.
Yeah,
They
the
won.
Nationals or whatever. Yeah.
Yeah. But you know, that was my moment of, oh, you don't have to give me the conversation about not quitting. No.
Nah,
I'm
I
gonna
want
get
it.
the best at this. And I tried so Elliot, I tried
You know
so
what's
hard.
funny? Like, so now I'm thinking of when did the switch flip, right?
Mhm.
Because like I was never passionate about sports. I was never trying to be on top at sports.
Yeah.
Oh, but when I joined ROTC though,
Yeah. But
I
you
was-
made it to the top of RTC. You were the top student in the school.
I made it to Corps Commander, and
Yeah.
I made what happened was I started in freshman year, and I saw the Corps Commander, and I was like, I could do a better job than that.
Yeah,
And I don't
that's
even
it.
think-
It switched.
I don't
that-
even listen.
that-
My competitive drive was just like, oh nah, I'm gonna be Corps Commander. Hold on, watch me do this.
See,
So literally
yeah.
in 3 years, because the other people had been doing it for 4 years, and I was like, no, I'm gonna do it in 3. So I think freshman year I took summer school English so that I could do ROTC.
Oh, you needed it. So you had-
Sophomore year, yeah. So I had to take the extra credit so I could free up the extra slot
Yeah.
a year early.
Because you know you had to take band class
Yes.
and you had to take gym.
And the only way to fit that extra class in there without giving up band was
to push another class out the way.
and take it over the summer. So that's what I did.
I didn't even know you did that.
Yes. So I took English over the summer my freshman year into sophomore year so I could be in the ROTC. Then I joined ROTC and I was like, I could be Corps Commander. So I was ROTC'd up, or I was like doing the now I can't think of what it's called. The
Flag?
nah, it's not a flag. It's like the rifle marching thing, but I can't remember what it's called.
Oh
It's
yeah,
like-
yeah. You talking about for the competitions,
Yes.
right? Yeah, I remember
And
that.
literally, I was on the team. We go.
The
I don't
rifle twirlers and
think-
stuff.
we weren't
It was
doing
more
it.
about just marching and precision.
It was precision.
Yeah, yeah.
I wasn't doing the twirling because I wasn't gonna drop that thing or worse, hit myself in the face with it. Like, listen, bro, I done seen some stuff. So
Yeah,
I
I
was
can
on
imagine.
I was on the team that actually did the executing the commands like as a unit, and that was cool. And then the hardest part of making Corps Commander was that I had to be able to run a mile in 9 minutes. And when I tell you
Did
that
you
was
do it?
oh yes, I did. It was hard. I ran a minute in 8 minutes and 45 seconds.
Yeah.
My fastest
Oh, you
mile
was
time
moving.
in my life, bro.
Bro, I ran a mile in 10th grade gym. You know, it's the last year of gym.
Yeah.
I think my mile was 8 minutes and 4 seconds, something like that.
Why you had to beat me? I was feeling all good about my
Nah,
8:45.
that was me like genuinely. No, I'm really trying. Like I was keeping up with like the
What you
athlete
think I
kids.
was? What you think I was taking it easy?
No. I wasn't comparing myself to you. I was
Shame.
comparing myself to the kids on the basketball team in my gym class.
Well, now I'm comparing my old self to you, and
Oh.
I'm trying to figure out how you ran a mile in 8 minutes for 4 seconds.
You want to know how, for real? The second lap, I ran the whole thing.
I ran the whole
So-
thing, all 4 laps. And I
No.
barely made it.
So I jogged the first lap, right?
Uh-huh.
So it was quick, right? But the second lap, I ran that lap.
You sprinted it.
Yeah. Well, no, I would have died. No, there's a difference between running and sprinting. Sprinting, you're pushing yourself to the max till you get somewhere. No, I I jogged, right? You know,
Can you tell
steady
I am not
pace
a
on the
runner?
first lap, right?
Uh-huh.
And then as soon as I crossed the threshold for the second lap, all right, I took off. Now I'm not jogging anymore. I'm actually running. And then the third lap, I went back to my steady pace. And then the fourth lap, I kept the steady pace until I got halfway done.
And
And
you
then I
sprinted
sprinted the last of it.
Yeah.
So, but that second lap,
I literally
I
used the same
finished the
strategy. I
second
just
lap
couldn't
in
do it that
about a
fast.
minute and a half.
Uh-huh.
That cutting that time is what was like, okay, now you all right.
Hey.
But like the hardest was for me was the drum major thing.
Yeah, nah. All I knew is I needed a 9-minute mile time, and I got that. So then I was court commander. That's all I knew. Got my pace on the wall.
So similar to that, when we were in high school, I remember thinking to myself in band, I used to be like, man, without putting any names out, we don't have very good drum majors anymore. You remember the swap when James left?
That's still a small group because you bought the X James out.
Yeah.
So now that's only gonna leave like 6 or 8 people.
But
So
but to be
people
fair,
like to see this,
you know that the band changed after
it did.
2008. And I think it wasn't the drum majors were the complete reason.
No.
But what I think was happening was, one, the culture of the band changed. Two, the leadership of the band did change, which made a big difference.
Yeah.
But the culture changed. And I remember when I first got in the band, and you probably remember when James was drum major and how everybody used to be scared. You remember walking in the band room and be all super quiet, and it was
yes. Well, okay, but so what you didn't experience was how James had that band.
Yes, I did. I marched in the band in 2008, not just in the spring.
You didn't march with Head and Devon.
No, I marched with Devon in 7th grade, though.
Exactly, that's what I'm saying. So when Head was still there,
I remember Head, though.
Listen, okay,
because remember he used to come to our house and like, hang out. Was it you or with Dad or something?
No, he definitely hung out. I think he came to help me with my music specifically because I was struggling.
Why? That's weird.
He played trombone. No, it wasn't, because I was in band and I could not keep up. And I was like, bro, I need help. And he was like, oh, I'll just come by. And literally he would come by because he played trombone. And he would help me with my sight reading, and he would help me actually like be able to figure out the notes on trumpet. And he got me to the point where I could perform because I didn't have the music.
Yeah,
and
that's back when Chekhov's was for real.
Was for real. Like, hey, you don't check off, you're not marching.
No, my
section
Chekhov's was still for real.
I mean, and that's so in my section, Chekhov's was for real because when he there was
when I first got to bed, everybody except for like flutes and clarinet.
It was a thing, but there was a culture of ownership of the band where Mr. Woodis was the band director, but he didn't own the band.
Yeah,
like he was the adult that made sure we weren't, doing
killing
anything.
Each other, yeah.
Right? We weren't doing anything we weren't supposed to be doing, and we was where we were supposed to be, and all that sort of stuff. But like the drum majors owned the band.
Yeah.
So like if you weren't practicing, they were gonna call you out, and you expected not only to be called out, but for everybody to look at you like, what's wrong with you?
And the repercussions were real.
Yeah,
because not just them looking at you, but and it's so funny, right? So you and I probably, honestly, we'll look back at those moments with fondness at this point because it's kind of like, that level of accountability made you want to produce something greater.
Because and the accountability always had to be paired with like the support of, hey, listen, we're not being hard on you because we think you suck. We're being hard on you because you suck right now, and
but
we know you can
better.
be better.
Yes.
And if you want to be a part of this group, we require that you give us the better that we know you can do. So like you had those two pieces and they were married together in a really beautiful way. And then at some point, the we know you can do better kind of started to fall back, which is why the other part, the accountability, started to fall back. Because if you don't have this piece, this is bullying.
Yeah.
And I think that's like, sometimes I hear older people talk about, we need to bring bullying back in schools. But like, no, you can't bring bullying back in schools
without bringing,
you gotta have like some amount of accountability for the bullies that, hey, listen, y'all only gonna take it so far. You're gonna, enforce some kind of like basic street rules. Like you ain't gonna be beating up on the smallest kid. No, you're gonna beat up on people who beat up on people to show you're the baddest one. Like that's the bullying we might be able to bring back. But you can't do that because the culture of, we know you can do better, we expect better of you, and we want you to be a part of us. We just have some requirements first. Like that's a really powerful thing. And in my opinion, that's like what we're missing culturally. Like that's why there's so many people who are super depressed and stuff, is because like you've divorced those two messages from each other.
And I think one day we should have a serious discussion about band in high school.
We're gonna have to.
We're gonna like and really talk about like everything,
bro.
Like,
it was so formative.
because one thing that I know about the band at the high school that we went to
yeah,
is, and
was
then
High Step.
honestly, huh?
it was High Step.
Oh yeah, big time. But one thing that I know about the band we went to, we marched in.
Mm-hmm.
Like when I first got there, right? And I think the culture is a lot different now.
Yeah,
But a lot of things are different. And I keep saying COVID ruined a lot of things too. But,
true.
like I think back at those moments of, you remember Staples being
Yeah.
super hard on me.
Bruh.
And you remember James being hard on the band.
Yeah.
You remember the pride that not just Mr. Woodis and the drum majors or the sex leaders would have,
But the
but
whole
like
band felt.
everyone would
Yeah.
have, and how it would weed out people that weren't really serious.
Because like it's really hard to stay somewhere that has a culture of excellence, that has an expectation. Hey, listen, if you're not doing it, like we're gonna make sure that you know that you're not doing it, and that we know that you can do better.
Yeah.
And we're not going to allow you to do anything less. So like there's something really important. And I like people are like, oh, well, school just feels different. Like, I think this is why extracurricular activities are so important, and why, being a part of team sports or whatever you're doing is so important, because like there's something about that accountability piece that, oh, we are going to make you a part of us, but we're going to make you do better to get there. Like, you're going to have to earn it a little bit. Like, there were some people who would come in the band and be like, oh, no, y'all too serious about this. I can't do this.
Yeah. You
Bruh.
remember the main was the dance girl section.
Yes.
So you remember at spring band every year, it'd be
girls would
40
come
girls
in
back there.
and like the outfits. Oh, y'all get to do makeup. And
Y'all get to hang out with the drummers.
Yeah, it's
and
so
y'all
cute.
this. Y'all, nah, bro.
And
they
then-
getting it lit back
And
there.
them dance coaches was haul on them, bro.
Yeah.
It was horrifically hard.
It
Like,
was worse when you were out of the band, they got that new dance coach from Virginia State, Miss D.
oh, was she even harder? Because I don't even remember who the dance coach
so-
was when I was there.
It was Miss Sean. That was the lady from Norfolk
yeah,
State.
yeah,
She
yeah,
dated
yeah,
Dr.
yeah,
Zach,
yeah.
or was married to Dr. Zachary.
Uh-huh.
And he's band director at Prairie View now.
I didn't know
He
that.
was the trumpet instructor at Norfolk State.
Oh, wow.
So yeah, he's at Prairie View, and they're massive. They're like
I believe that.
290 people deep.
Jeez. In high school?
No, it's a college.
I don't know what
He-
Prairie View is.
It's
I'm
in
sorry,
Texas.
Prairie
I was
View.
gonna go there until
Oh.
Virginia State sent me that big old scholarship.
I
But,
mean, listen, you got to go where the money's at.
Yeah. So but I think that when like the dance girls when I was a senior with
Mhm.
Sierra Maddox and all of them, like they were
You just gonna
Yeah,
throw her whole government out there.
I'm throwing your. They won everything. They was killing the game.
Yeah,
And,
yeah.
like,
because they
so
were
I
winning, like
remember-
first place in multiple
Yeah.
events.
They would win first place when the band wouldn't.
Yeah, right.
You know? But like I remember just seeing people that regular students that
Mhm.
had no background in dance, no background in flag or anything like that.
Right.
And you could tell.
They did.
You could tell. People that think they're gonna become a drummer,
And
people
then
that think they're gonna be a dance
They
girl.
come in and don't realize, like, hey, listen, this not we
No,
not
this is
playing
not a
here.
cakewalk.
It's
We
not,
run.
Yeah, it's not a game. Like, you can't just come in here and think you're gonna be a main character if you're not putting in work to
Yeah.
be the main character.
And it's real work. And
Yeah.
like I remember being in band and I would laugh like when spring band would start.
on day one, because you see all these hopeful faces,
Yeah.
like, oh yeah, and they're
and then we go
talking
outside, run 2 laps,
and be like,
and they still out there. The whole band.
came back in and they still
Or
run.
we lined up. We lined up in parade block about to
People-
go back inside,
Right.
and they still running from back.
Bruh.
Bruh. No.
There was no worse feeling than like you get done with your lap and now you supposed to be back in formation, or we're
And
supposed
you-
to be at
yeah.
attention, and you're just like, oh my god, I'm so tired, and you're
Yeah.
trying to breathe but you're trying to keep still
Like
because you're not
first week of
supposed to
summer
move.
band camp running.
Bruh.
When you've been on summer break for a couple weeks,
you know, you
eating,
eating garbage,
sitting on
chilling
the
in the house playing
couch,
Call of Duty.
drinking soda.
Now you got to work all that off.
I remember that year we was with mom for the summer until you went to band camp. That's when they brought us back.
Yes,
And you kept
bruh.
saying, man, I'm dreading band camp next month. Man, I'm dreading band camp next week.
Because I knew,
Bruh.
bro, I knew. I was like, bro, I ain't worked out. And the correct answer, see, and this is if I really had internalized all the lessons I probably should have, I would have been training over the summer, so I wouldn't have been so out of shape
It's so crazy
when
to
band
me
camp came around.
to
But it
think
didn't
that
even
you
occur to me.
struggled. That is so difficult for me.
What
because
do you mean?
band was so easy to me.
Okay.
It's like I think about okay, when I first got in the band in 7th grade,
Yeah.
and I think about how much I was like, I really didn't know what I was doing. Like, I struggled to hold the instrument up because it was very heavy.
Yeah.
Right. I was a little kid.
Because you played tenor sax, right?
Yeah. And I struggled first year.
Yeah.
But to be honest with you, 8th grade, like after that spring band was over, summer band camp in 8th grade. Yes, she was very hard on me, but
she was hard on you because
she was
like you were
super hard on me.
But you were like this far from being where she saw you could get to.
Yeah.
And you were being lazy, which I think really pissed her off.
No, it wasn't. It wasn't just being lazy.
Wait.
Some of that she was just being hard on me because I would know the music and she would go crazy.
Okay, there's a part. There's a
part
part.
Of it was lazy.
No, the part you were missing is she really didn't like me, and you just didn't know that.
She didn't like you?
I guess not.
I didn't even know that.
To just never I don't think it was like you're
Maybe
a terrible
cool
person
for her.
Maybe, I don't know.
That's fair.
There are lots of people who just randomly didn't like me, and if I'm being fair to those people, okay, I was kind of insufferable. Like, yes,
you were a little insufferable sometimes.
Listen, I had some personality traits that I really had to grow out of.
I was relatively likable, but I guess I wasn't until I got to college.
You were a lot like me in all the problematic ways. So, like, we always felt like we knew more than we did. We were always too smarmy about stuff. We were like sarcastic.
Because I didn't have that problem in college. Everyone, like, I feel like most people, not everyone.
By the time
most people loved me.
By the time we went through high school band, we worked at Firehouse.
Yeah.
We did all the stuff that we did at home, at church, etc. Like, we had grown out of most of the worst habits by the time we got to college. So, like, by the time I got to college, I was a pretty likable person. It was very few people who were just like, oh, no, I don't like that dude. By the time I got to college. But, like, high school? No, there was a lot of people who were like, oh Elliot. So... But, like, yeah, no, that probably didn't help you. So I'm sorry about that. But I think the reason that I struggled so much, and I won't even say struggle, because, like, once I started playing baritone, like, I was pretty much the best.
So you were struggling with trumpet?
So I was struggling from 7th grade all the way up to probably maybe 9th or 10th grade.
Really?
And so there was a combination of things that were happening. So one was I was never a very strong music reader. Like, it just never...
Really? I didn't know any of that.
Okay. I could never intuitively understand, because I couldn't, like, I struggle to sight read because I don't translate music when I'm reading it. Like, when you read a book, you don't have to think about the words that you're reading anymore because you understand how to read. When I was playing music and I would read it off the page, I have to think about every single note that I'm playing, and I have to transpose the note that's on the page to the note that I need to play on the instrument, and then I would have to actually do the action to play the note on the instrument. So, like, sight reading for me was virtually impossible. Like, I could not sight read.
I don't know why this is
like
so
this is
difficult for me to understand.
So
because
do you remember I would try out for all district every year?
Because all city you just get selected.
Yeah, I think did you make it to all district one year?
I never tried. I never wanted to.
You know what's crazy? You would have made it. I tried out every single year and I never made it. The closest
because
I got,
when I went to all city, the two guys that played tenor sax, one was at Kings Fork, and one was at Lakeland,
and they were really good.
No.
So you definitely should have tried.
Yeah, but there wasn't that many people my age playing tenor sax specifically in Suffolk.
Yeah.
So how many you think it was in the district? Not that many, maybe 7, 8.
They're all in Chesapeake. That's why.
No, I know, but what I'm saying
it's
is
more than 7 or 8.
If both of them made district, that means it wasn't that many.
Well,
because there's not but 4 seats
did
on
they
the
both
district
make district?
Band. Yes, and they're both from Suffolk. That means
that's kind of wild.
There's not that. I think there was 4 seats of tenor sax.
I mean, you still should have tried out.
I should have, right? And I remember one year I really was going to, and I practiced. It's just do you remember the district sheet music Mr. Willis would give out?
Yes, and it was so hard.
It would be ridiculous.
Yes.
And I was always like, I'm not doing this.
But
every year I would try it, and I'm not doing this.
So here was the point, right? So I would try out for district every year, but I never made district because I would do really well on the prepared piece. I would do decently well, or I would do really well on my scales because I knew my scales. I'd do well on the prepared piece because I'd actually practiced it. I would listen to how it was played. I'd understand kind of where the dynamics were supposed to swell and go down, and I would kind of try to play it with emotion, and I worked on my timbre so that the sound coming out of the horn was actually pleasant to the ear. But then I would try and sight read, and literally it would sound like an elephant falling downstairs on a tuba. Okay, it was just.
I'm sorry, but this is so shocking,
bro.
To me. I always used to brag about how perfect we were at music.
No, okay, I was a fantastic tuba player. Once I had time to prepare,
Yeah.
I could play any piece of music you put in front of me. Matter of fact, my junior and senior year, I was playing some of the hardest tuba pieces that I could get my hands on just to prove that I could do it. So
I just didn't know that you struggled because my sight reading, right?
Yeah.
So I honestly would say my sight reading didn't get where it needed to be until college. When I got to Virginia State band, like because you're getting so much music,
you were being forced to get
it's
better
not,
at it.
and it's deeper than that. It's not just that you're forced to do it. Basically, everything you do is sight reading because if I give you 3 sheets of music today and we have to play them today, but tomorrow I'm giving you another 2 sheets of music.
Like, you ain't got time to practice.
No,
because we're not
right.
going over them 3. You should
Yeah.
already know them. We
And
did them
guess what?
yesterday.
Tomorrow, when I give you those 2 new ones, we're playing those tomorrow.
Yeah.
So it was almost like literally we got so much music.
You can't be in the band if you can't sight read.
Yeah,
It's
and
kinda-
it's not. No, that's not true. But what I'm saying is, like, you literally are sight reading every day. It wasn't like at Nanceman where we got music, and to be honest, we got more music than a lot of high schools.
We did.
But-
But you would get the music way in advance. You had
And
plenty
you
of
would
time to
get
practice.
7 sheets of music at once.
Yeah.
No, at Virginia State, you was getting 2 a day.
That's crazy.
And then, like, your book would be so full of music, or your folder, or whatever you got.
the book falling apart
Bruh.
because the sheets, the rings can't
And I
hold the sheets
remember
no more.
I used to tell my section leader, 3. All it needs 3 good times. If you give me 3 good times to play this sheet of music top to bottom, I'm gonna memorize it.
And you know what's funny? I will say I was bad at sight reading, but I got
good at
much.
memorizing.
Listen, that's what I was good at. So like I could memorize a piece of music, just like you said, 3 good times. We played through it. Now I got it.
In college, I could sight read anything.
Nah, I couldn't do
Anything.
Nah, that was not my
And
testimony.
like I remember he would give us this music, and because okay, I'm gonna go off on a tangent for a second about college band.
Okay.
So in the HBCU band, right? I loved it, but it's a lot, and you know your section is like your brothers and sisters. Okay,
Right.
so all of the rookies in the saxophone section, we were one. Okay, so if we doing good, we all doing good.
if we not,
If we doing bad, we all doing bad.
one band, one
Aaron
sound.
doesn't do bad,
Of course.
so
So now you got to be a bully.
no. The problem
Stop the
was
cap.
I had really really cool people in the section with me, but I had a specific person that wasn't, let's just say, up to snuff.
Right.
Okay, and so it was difficult because I told them, I just told you, Elliot, I memorized all my music mad quick,
Right.
and they knew that. But I would tell them, look, let's have special rehearsals so that when band practice starts at 3, you guys and like we all got together and been practicing for maybe an hour a day or something.
Right.
But the one that needed the practice
Would never show up.
would not come.
Of course.
So I remember we used to get in trouble for that. So they would ask me every night.
Sounded like you need to vote somebody off the island.
It's like, why you know your music and they don't? All right, we doing push-ups. I remember it used to happen. Every night it would happen. It'd be like, why you know your music and they don't? All right, I guess we're going over it again. Why you know your music and it used to drive me crazy. Like,
Listen,
it would drive me like,
you had crazy upper body strength though.
you ain't lying. Because I did more push-ups.
You could-
I did
listen.
more push-ups than you could imagine.
Thought
that
you was
year.
in basic, didn't you?
But the thing is, that conversation with Dad
All
about
goes
not
back to that.
quitting.
Bro. And even now, even today, like I was talking earlier about how I don't love my job and I think about it. I've had some serious like contemplations about, man,
Man,
I
I
gotta
just
quit this
walk
job.
out
I
of
can't.
this place.
Yeah, I'm gonna just leave. I'm gonna make it like a movie
need
scene.
this.
I don't need this.
My woman has 2 jobs.
Exactly.
No, I'm
So
just kidding, I'm just
nah. But I talked to Dad even then. I was like, man, I don't know if I really want to stay at this job. He's like, well, listen, you don't want to just quit. Think
Yeah.
about what it is that you don't like about the job. Think about what it is that you feel like you're not getting, and see if there are ways that you can address those things. And it helped. You
Yeah.
know, I still got some reservations. I still got some issues that I'm working through. But at the end of the day, the conversations that I think we have had with Dad, like over the years, have been really, really, really formative. They give you a perspective and they give you like a direction to head to. Like they give you kind of an example of like what being a man is supposed to be about.
Yeah.
Like, and even if you can't always live up to that, like sometimes I give up on stuff. I'm like, I'm not doing that. Right.
Yeah.
Like everybody does. But like understanding principally that like at the end of the day, what you're aiming for is like, if you set out to do something, you need to do everything within your power to accomplish that goal. Because at the end of the day, the only person that's going to hold you properly to account is you.
Yeah. Yeah,
You are the only person who can really make you do anything that that you put your mind to. And as long as you know that that's the case, like, it's really powerful and it's really scary, because then if you fail, like, you always feel like it's your fault. But when you succeed, like, okay, there were things that I did to contribute to this. Obviously, you got to give it to God, because, like, there's a whole set of circumstances that you have no control over. Like, nobody came in and shot you that day. Like, it could have happened. So you gotta give credit where it's due for the stuff that you have no control over. But the stuff that you have control over, when you are putting your effort in to make changes, to bring positive outcomes to your life, like, I think that's really affirming. And I think a lot of people would probably really benefit from having somebody in their life to be able to, like, instill that message in them. So, hopefully somebody watching will hear it from us and maybe they'll take it to heart.